Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're with us this morning. We're starting off a great week here. We've got all kind of exciting things coming up this week. But we're going to start it this morning. We're starting our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. All kind of programs going on there and all kind of exciting things. And just a good group of folks. I know a lot of those folks, and they're just down-to-earth, hard-working people. And I love going out there and seeing everybody. But we're going to move on now with the weather. We're looking at a high today of 53, low of 42, and water temperature is 61 degrees. Got a couple of degrees warmer than the last week. On Monday, we always do our Monday moon forecast, and what we have on the moon phase, actually it's not a forecast because we know what it is. The moon phase today, we're looking at a full moon tonight. The full moon of January is tonight, the 21st, and then it's going to start, of course, waning, but it's got a great situation as far as doing anything at night. We've got natural light there. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, looking at decent tides today, and we've got a situation where things are really moving in as far as the weather picking up. It's going to be a cold week, but it should be a good week to do that speckled trout fishing up in the mouth of the bayous because they're going to be sort of gathering up what we call staging. So keep that in mind. Low tide is at 7:21 and high tide is at 8:23. Marine forecast, we're looking probably east-northeast about 8 to 10. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back with our guest. All right, welcome back, and welcome back to a guest we've had on before, Alex Murphy. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be back.
We're glad to have you. Alex and I go way back because I had her kids in my class, and now tell them your official title at Haney Technical Center.
The Chief Community Relations Officer. So I work with business and industry, and I just try to educate our community on the great opportunities that we have at Haney Technical Center. And
she does a marvelous job because I hear a lot of good things, like I was saying earlier in the weather report. I know a lot of these folks over there, but I always ask about what are the boys, what's your kids up to, and I got a kick out of it this morning when she walked in and said, all right, what are the boys doing? So you pull this up. We're going to show this on the screen. Tell us about the boys. Here's a map here.
I heard from Carter this morning, and so we have a tracker, not that we're stalking our children, but just to keep in touch with them because they're traveling.
Good parents do that.
And Taylor's out in Los Angeles, and it makes me nervous with the earthquakes and everything. Not that, I should obsess with that, but so it was funny when I looked at where they were, and
Carter's
on one side of the country, and
Carter's over there in California.
Daytona. No, Taylor's in California.
Taylor's in California.
And Carter's in Daytona.
Carter's in Daytona.
Yeah, so I've got them spread across the country.
Well, that's funny. So they're all doing well.
They're doing great. They did. Actually, Carter said to tell you hello this morning, so he had some awesome memories in your class. Some great
kids.
Both of them did. So
I know. What is he getting doing the outdoor stuff?
Oh, they're not into hunting as much, but they love getting out on the water. Mm-hmm. They love just any outdoor adventures as far as.
I know they do.
Okay,
so what's going on? We're going to talk about. The storm hit everybody hard. We know that. Mm-hmm. But Haney was able to just sort of get back in, get things going and all. So what's going on over there?
We did. We lost about 22% of our students.
Okay.
So we, kind of expected that we were going to have some numbers off, just like everybody else. Our campus definitely sustained some damage. We've had to shift some of our classrooms around, but we are up running all of our programs. We did stagger how we started because a few of the programs like cosmetology, they pulled out the plumbing, and there were some challenges with that. So
I guess it's hard to do the hair. You don't have any plumbing.
Well, that's right. So, but we just had to secure the facility and make sure everything was safe for students. So we're back. We do have some opportunities that have come available because we've lost some of our students. So some of our programs would have not had openings at this time of the year.
Right.
And because we did lose some students, we do have some openings, and that's one of the things I was going to talk about this morning.
Okay.
So we have, I know you have some pictures of some of the programs.
Let me see if I can pull up some of these pictures. You were so good on technology. We got a lot of pictures, and one thing about it, let's start with
Cosmetology.
Cosmetology. I always liked that class.
Yes, cosmetology is a year-long program. You don't have to have any experience for any of our programs. So students that want to sign up for this program, we will start registration on January 28th, and classes will start on February 11th, so they still have a little bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's right around the corner. So.
And then all of our programs, we have financial aid assistance for those who qualify. We have scholarships, so funding should never be a barrier. Age isn't an issue, and all the programs I'm talking about today, we have males and females in those programs. So they're just some great fits for people that want to get some additional training to help them get a better job.
Yeah, on this cosmetology program, I've been well aware of it, and this what y'all have done in the past, and y'all go around to community places and all, and this picture here just sort of typifies I remember my mother I would take my mother up there at times when she lived with us, and they were so nice and kind to her.
Absolutely.
And she would, with older ladies, how that hair's,
they
she
get
was
it
used
done
to,
on a regular basis. That's right.
When she was living with my dad and all before he passed away, every week they would go get their hair done.
That's right.
She would. So she sort of got back in a routine, and the folks up there were so kind.
Well, what they do is and anyone in the community, if they can make an appointment, I'm not sure exactly what the hours are, but they can come out and have services done. The students are only put out on the floor when they have a certain level of competency, and they're under the supervision of a licensed cosmetologist. So you're absolutely right, we do provide those services. This particular picture that you're showing is a field trip where the students went to the homeless veteran stand down, and they provided haircuts for not only the homeless veterans, but there were a lot of military volunteers. So
awesome.
it gives them, again, they have to get a certain number of hours, and it gives us an opportunity to give back in our community. They did several events recently since the storm with some of the elementary schools. If you remember, one of the challenges, like so many other businesses, there were very few places in town that were open that were cutting hair. So we were able to help some families and do that, and it is something that we do ongoing in that program.
And you're teaching these kids not only just a trade for a vocation, but you're teaching them to give back.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of it.
And another one when we get to talking about marine mechanics, but we also had our marine and electrical and welding students put together bicycles for, I'm just drawing a blank. It was actually for an elementary school out in Southport Elementary and Patterson, where they had some donations and they needed assistance in putting them together. So that became another community project. So.
That's cool. Now, what about here's just some of the same ongoing cosmetology things?
It's a year-long program, and they would just come in, and we would walk them through the registration process. And it's just it's a great opportunity for people that like to have their own hours. Sometimes they can work independent, and sometimes they can work in salons with other people. So it gives them options. Yeah,
I personally have always liked the old barbershop, but they were teasing me when I brought my mom in there. They want to know, well, Coach, you want us to give you a haircut? I said, well, it don't really won't take long.
Listen, I know how some men are, because I've got a lot around me that are very picky about their hair, no matter how much.
Okay, so that's a cosmetology program. We're at a breaking point now. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, welcome back. Sitting here with a smiling Alex Murphy. She's always doing something positive. I've always just been tickled with her, and we were talking about their openings here in Bay County for right now.
Industrial pipe fitters.
Well, industrial pipe fitting. We got a picture. Tell us about this picture here. I thought I'd putting together a train, one of those old trains at first when you sent the picture. Tell us about it.
That's right. Well, industrial pipe fitting is a very high demand career right now, specifically in Bay County. I know of 40 positions that are open, but nationally there are just critical shortages in this career path. The cool thing about this program is we are the only program in the state of Florida that actually offers a classroom-based program. So there's one other program in Orlando, but they do an apprenticeship. So we will actually have an instructor that works with our students, and they actually do hands-on lab work, and they work also with welding some. It's a 6-month program.
6 months?
Which is the shortest program we had. And they also have opportunities to get some extra financial assistance. So Career Source Gulf Coast is offering specific scholarships for students. So there may be scenarios where somebody may enroll in that program and may not pay anything out of pocket. So it is a very great opportunity for people that are looking for a quick turnaround for training, and the price couldn't be better.
Well, we talked about, I mentioned this last time you were on, you probably don't remember, but the welding has always been fascinating me, the welding part, because there's so many things you can do to complement it.
That's right, and we do have welders that will jump into this training, because then they're dually certified in 2 different skills, and then we also will have pipe fitters that will go into welding. So Welding is a little bit harder to get into because that's even more high demand, but it is a longer program, and the financial aid isn't quite as sweet as this program is right now.
Well, that's very interesting.
Both great.
And like I say, there's 40 openings in Bay County.
40 current job openings.
Current job openings right now in Bay County.
We don't have that many openings for our program, but yes.
But in general, learning to weld and doing this kind of stuff, it has all kind of side benefits. I always thought, even as a young man, I wish I'd have taken some form of welding, because in my lifetime as an outdoorsman and a sportsman, I've been so many times where I need to weld my boat trailer. I could weld my boat trailer.
That's right.
I could my tree stands and all. There's so many things I could have done and all.
Absolutely.
And I've had people and friends and all do them for me, or I've paid to have them done. But it's really something neat to do.
And I will tell you, I saw a really neat story about 6 months ago up north, how there are several different unions that, because of the contracts with different high employers that have high demands for equity in their employment, that there are critical shortages for female pipe fitters. And they're finding that it's a great career path for people who have younger children, because the moms have that flexibility because there's shift work and different things. So again, maybe not so much here locally. Obviously, there's plenty of opportunities anyways with 40 positions, but it's just a neat career path a lot of people don't know about.
That's interesting. And of course, I always mention underwater welding and all.
That's
and
right.
that's another level up and all. But that is something very rewarding financially. Those people.
Nuclear plants, Our welders have started as high as $36 an hour.
Wow.
If they're able to travel.
That's more than we make on TV shows.
Yeah. That's more than a lot of people make, even with doctorate degrees.
Oh, yes,
yes.
And all right, well, this is just
another picture. They're putting a weld on the actual pipe there. So.
And it's only a 6-month program.
It is 6 months, start to finish.
That is a good career right there. Okay.
And that program we have openings right now, so they can come in.
You do have openings right now?
We do. For the two programs that we have openings right now are marine mechanics and industrial pipe fitting.
Right now.
Exactly right now.
And that's just
another picture where they can do things. A lot of them will work in the HVAC industry. They can do welds. They also work on ships. There's multiple applications for pipe fitting.
And the versatility you can get from learning that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. All right. Let's jump into, let's go flying.
That's a great program. That's another mechanical program. That's our aviation mechanics program. It's a 2-year-long program. It's certified by the FAA, which is a big deal because that means when the students finish, they're eligible to take the FAA exam. And when they're a licensed airframe or power plant mechanic, they can work anywhere in the world.
How did these planes not blow away during Hurricane Michael? What happened?
Our F-15 is still standing.
It is?
So it did better than many of them out near Tyndall and on Tyndall. So I can give credit to Rick. He was very proactive months before the storm and worked with our maintenance division at Bay District Schools and ordered some straps and different things. So they really worked hard to secure things, because that's something you have to consider when you live in areas that are prone to weather.
Yeah.
So that is a picture in our airframe lab, and that's where they deal with all of the components for the actual body of the aircraft. And so that particular day, there's another picture. The students were working they were cutting out pieces of wood.
Yeah, let's see.
So they were building a simulation for a wing. Wing assembly, and they were cutting out all these small little things, and they were building a mock wingspan that they will then use different the products that they use to build the different metals that they put behind those applications. So it's a great program. Again, very high demand. We have probably one of the most affordable tracks in the state of Florida for what it costs for students. People move here just to go to our program, and it's 2 years long, so it's a great program.
And look at all the opportunities. Of course, there's big airports here. We've got airports all over the place. But you have government agencies that have planes and all. You can get a job with the government, like the Fish and Wildlife Commission. They have their own planes, and somebody's got to take care of them.
Well, just so you know, any commercial aircraft at an airport, only a licensed FAA mechanic can work on it. So that's great. And there are just opportunities all over the world in that career path. And our market is growing tremendously. You heard, with the addition of GKN at our airport, there are more and more industries coming into Bay County. And certainly with our airport and the expansion opportunities, we know there's going to be more aviation companies coming to our area.
You brought up a good point, because a lot of people are talking about, everybody's moving away and all this and that. And I'm like you, I sort of shake my head. We have a temporary problem with some things and all, but man, the future is going to be so bright, so many things coming in.
Well, and I have personally kept up with, I work closely with the EDA, and they have said, if anything, they have actually had more interest recently with potential employers wanting to find out more about what we have, because many of the areas that they're considering didn't necessarily have damage. So you're absolutely right. It's a treasure in North Florida, and people are finding that out.
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't think we can all comprehend what's going to be, how we're going to be growing in the next years to come.
It's like anything else. We're going to have some growing pains, but there's no question once we can get to the other side of it, we're all going to be better for it.
Yep, so true.
Remind me of that when I have my insurance crisis. And
we're going to talk about that next break. We're going to talk about insurance wars maybe. We'll take a break and be right back. Okay, welcome back. Here with Alex Murphy of Haney Technical Center. Let's look at our fish and game forecast today. We always like to look at it this segment, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in Port St. Joe. It's only one time today, 12:28 to 2:28. I don't know if you've noticed that, but every time we have a full moon, we only have one feeding period. This is for fish and game, right? You understand all this, right?
I do now.
Okay. And because what's happening, they're going to be feeding at night with all the light and everything. So it's fascinating if you watch and study that right here in the middle of the day, about 12 hours from midnight. Okay.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. All right, now we got one more program to talk about. Then we got all kinds of things. The thing about having Alex on as a guest, we run out of time. She's always got something exciting and to talk about, and she has no problem talking about it. You're a natural.
Well, I don't know about that, but I like to talk about what we have.
How's everybody in the Murphy family? How's everybody doing?
They're doing great. They're doing great. They're kind of spread out across the country right now, so but it's exciting. We're experiencing an empty nest, but I have heard they do come back, so we'll see if that.
They'll come back, especially when they get hungry and all. But
that's right.
I'm talking about your in-laws and all of them. They're all doing well.
We had a few bumps and bruises, but we're all able to be in our homes, so we're celebrating that.
Oh, good deal. So. And we will talk about that later. But anyway, when I'm finished, I want to ask about Malcolm and all them. Anyway, Marine Mechanics.
Marine Mechanics is another program that we have openings right now. That is a great program because obviously we live where there are so many areas for boating, and we teach students everything that they need to know to work on engines and trailers. They do even small watercraft like jet skis and wave runners, and it's a hands-on program like most of our programs. They don't have to have any experience. Bobby Miller is a great instructor, and they just have a great time in that program. Many students actually will work on their boats. Sometimes we have opportunities where we'll take in boats for people in the community if they're patient, because it is a learning environment. It may be, some days or even a week if they have to order parts for them to work on it and get experience. But it's a great program, and that also is one that is great for males and females.
It is, and the facility itself, you got plenty of room there.
Yes.
And you got your classroom there, you got your floor. We've been to, we videoed some up there for the viewers and all, and they're so good and conscientious about it.
Well, it's a high demand area for boating. So.
Yeah, you can see the space right there. And like you said, years ago, I would bring on occasion, I knew all the instructors, I would bring I didn't have money to get it fixed. I'd bring it to them. But you have to, like I say, you have to be patient. But it's a learning process.
Well, and they can't just bring their boat up there. They do need to make an appointment.
Make an appointment.
And we don't take all sizes. We have to be able to,
It's like a little window you got to fit in.
That's right. But it is a great program, and the training, I believe, is just a little over a year.
Okay.
So it's not as fast as pipe fitting, but it is definitely it's packed with lots of information.
Okay, we got about 3-4 minutes left. Just in general, let's start wrapping things up and tell us about what all else you need.
So we will be having a registration window for nursing, but that isn't going to be now until May 1st. We had some challenges with the hospital, Bay Medical closing, and some of the other places. So we're becoming a little more creative, like Gulf Coast has had to do as well, and where we can find clinicals.
May 1st will be nursing program open.
So and I'll try to talk to you about that later. And all all of our programs are up and running. Our students are extremely resilient. If ever there was a time that, you know, I would think they would want to just throw in the towel and you know, move on, they didn't. We didn't lose a single staff member from the storm, and so we're very proud that we have that atmosphere. So even our GED program, I didn't talk about that, but that's back up and running. And Miss Mary, our 80-year-old GED student, she was back, had a little wet book that when I went in there, I said, Miss Mary, we need to get you a new book. No, dear, it's fine, I can still read it. And the pages were stuck together.
Oh,
and,
my goodness.
God love her, she's just so determined. But we did get her a new book. So,
oh, good, good.
But yeah, so it's an exciting time for technical education. And, you know, we know that your audience has figured that secret out, but there are many people that don't necessarily know about it. So I appreciate any information that people can share with others that can benefit from it, and we invite anyone to come out to Haney and see what we have. It's a little bumped and bruised with our facility. We don't have carpet in a lot of rooms, but guess what? You can teach without ceiling tiles and carpet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Historically, we haven't had carpet. You know, back in the early days, we didn't have carpet. So the little things like that, like I say, the attitude and all. Everybody's positive out there, and they're looking for. The big thing as an educator, your goal in life is to help other people.
Absolutely, and we see phenomenal life changes. You know, they can be generational, because if we can get one person to experience a positive outcome, it will usually fuel that fire for other people in their family that maybe have had insecurities about going back to school. You know, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm not smart enough, and that's usually never the case. Their fear is worse than the actual experience in coming back. So.
And we're in such an ever-changing society, and different demands on different jobs and all.
And even if you don't know what you want to do, we have counselors that can talk to them about options, and they can go visit the different labs. So sometimes you don't even know a career exists until you come out to Haney.
Well, we're so glad to have you come on, and it's always exciting to have you. So many good things going on out there.
Well, we appreciate your support, and we just know our community is 850 strong, and we're just excited to see what the future holds for all of us.
Well, thank you so much. And like I say, folks, if you have opportunity to give them a call, what's your phone number?
767-5500.
Okay.
And they can Google Haney Technical Center, and we have a listing of our programs, but really coming out is the best way to find out about what we offer.
Yeah, just take time to come over there and sit down with you, and they got so many counselors and so many things.
And financial aid opportunities, and so and just one-stop shop.
Yeah, that's right. I said, well, you want to look for that blonde that was on Panhandle Outdoors that works out here. I want to see her. That's okay.
There are quite a few of us out there, so there's a lot of them that can help.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I'll see you. Folks, appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. Got a big week coming up, and be sure to watch every morning. Do something good for your fellow man today. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.